First thing I want to note, I want to geek out hard for his stance, the Snake MK3, MKDA. I'm all in on that. And you can see a lot of his F-style, his like fight moves, use Snake style.
Yep.
I think that's super cool. It's a cool throwback. So let's start with his throws. You'll see a lot of his stuff is super effects heavy. Like he's not doing everything he does physical. He also mixes up with magic, and I think it's really cool because something I thought of before we were like working on Shang is that they talk about what a sorcerer he is, but honestly, he pretty much just does skulls and soul steel.
Yeah,
so I really love all this stuff that uses like the lava.
He pulls out the scroll and stuff like
Yes.
that. I mean, you actually see more of the magic coming through.
Exactly.
It's
I think that's really cool.
A J. Edwards special. He did
And
an awesome job.
You can't see it here, but his throw is a little different than others.
Yes, he actually gains back a little bit of health.
What?
But
You can't see that because he has 100%.
sure, but also his forward throw only does 100 damage.
Right.
So you're losing 40 damage off of it to gain that 40 back.
Right.
So here's a couple of the key normals I wanted to show. I think his premier normal, like the normal that defines him, is his forward 2, and it's this really long range mid. And there's a couple of options from it. He can do this string, which looks awesome, and that combos in the corner. So this string is actually plus on block. So when he blocks it, he can move before the opponent. So he can do like his down 3 or
Go back
for
into
a throw.
pokes. Yeah.
Exactly. But it has a huge gap. If the opponent knows they're going to do it, they can attack through it. They can even just do a standing jab, and they get a full combo punish.
Right.
So he also has to complement it, this one, which ends in a kick, and this does not combo in the corner. It's not plus.
Is it a hide?
It is not.
No.
The opponent has to block it, and here's what's really cool.
It does something a little special, doesn't it?
Oh.
That was a bad recording. All right. If it's a counter hit, it gets a crushing blow.
Nice.
So the meta here would be you're pressuring it with this, you're getting your plus flames, you're looping it. Sometimes I walk back and bait it down 1. Sometimes I do his down 3, which has really good range. And then when they start interrupting it, that's when you go to this. And then once per game, you're going to get that juicy, crushing blow.
Oh, yeah.
And it's one of those characters where, like, you might not be winning the match if you don't pull that. Like, you're going to get that one every match if you're playing.
Yeah, it's definitely a core part of his gameplay. So the only real downside to this move is that it's kind of slow, and that's complemented by his back 1, which is a really fast mid. I think it's like 13 frames or something like that. And
Oh, that was an awesome jump attack, too. Sorry.
yeah,
I love it.
The Kung Fu stuff's really cool. And he can confirm that into his Soul Steel or his Fireballs or whatever. And he's not going to get like a huge reward off it, but that's kind of like the fast move you use if you're up close, and then this is too slow to use.
Right.
Another cool one is this Lava String. I'm a big fan of this because this is actually a tribute to MKDC Universe. Remember that?
Yep.
I do.
That's awesome.
One of those combo challenges had that
It was
in.
insanely
It was
hard.
so hard.
It was insanely hard, yeah.
Here's the thing I like about Shang Tsung. I guess let's keep moving with this because I have a point I want to make later, but I want to show some of those moves first when we get into the specials and stuff.
All right, so let's go into the specials. First off, the skull's back. It's pretty much exactly what you want. A fast projectile.
Does it scream?
The sound effect is great. I was spamming it earlier against someone and like really all in on the sound effect.
Yeah.
He can amplify it to do 2. He actually cannot amplify it to do 3 anymore. You got to settle for 2, but we might get back to that later.
Okay.
Also back is the Soul Steel.
Of course.
He morphs into the opponent for about 6 seconds or so. So there's something interesting about this. When he's morphed, he gains access to all their crushing blows. So he actually will get like 10 crushing blows, which is way more than anyone else.
Right.
Literally twice as much as anyone else. So if he does a down 2 as the opponent, that counts as his down 2. He can't do another down 2. However,
if he does it at Sub-Zero, he can't do it at Shang Tsung.
correct. However, if he does one of Sub-Zero's, like if he does Sub-Zero's slide one, that doesn't take away from his Shang ones.
Right.
The downside is it will actually do 50% less. So you get this huge pool of crushing blows, but they're going to do 50% less.
Sure.
He can also...
When you're the opponent.
When you're the opponent, correct.
But you still have to do the
requirements.
So,
Yes.
so for getting the main one you want with 50% off of his slide,
Yes.
isn't that bad.
Right.
So you'd have to maybe turn into Sub-Zero a couple times probably to get that to work.
Yes. You can also meter burn it to actually extend the time that you're the opponent.
Gotcha.
And Soul Steel is pretty much what you expect. Really good range. It is punishable, but it's going to be like stuff like Sub-Zero slide. So it's a pretty good like mid-range move to check them. He also has this brand new move, which is actually his own kind of slide. It's a mid. It doesn't reach full screen, but it's really fast, and you can use it to like punish stuff. Secondly, a new move, and this is again an example of him using sorcery in ways he never has, is Corpse Drop, where a dead body, which for some reason has a huge belly, I love that,
Because it's bloated.
falls from the sky. Oh, that makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah.
And if you amplify it, it becomes overhead low and does hella damage.
That's awesome.
And he has a close, medium, and very far version that he can use, so it kind of complements the space control moves. Like, they're kind of regulated because of the fireball, and they got to be ready to block that. And the low has massive radius, too. Like, you can see the blood will actually hit them, and it can kind of trip them.
And here's what I was going to talk about when it comes to Soul Steel. You read a lot of people online like having character crisis, like who do I play? Who do I play?
Right.
Shang Tsung's a great player because you've probably practiced 15 people on the roster. So
Yeah.
So you might know how to like. I was looking at this. Our friend John Anderson behind the desk is a Shao Kahn player. He's also played a lot of other characters. Tends to lean towards bad bossy characters. I feel like maybe Shang Tsung's something for you to look at, John.
What were you laughing about, Derek?
Oh, nothing. You're just
Bad,
bad.
bossy
Okay.
characters.
Yeah, you're just generally bad.
Wow.
So one more new move is, I call it Comet Skull. He summons these from the sky, and this is a awesome space control move. If you amplify it, it's actually safe on block, and you cannot interrupt it. Like, so you can hit confirm into it and get pretty juicy damage, and it's also a great block string. Like if you watch here, he's safe, and he'll be pushed away.
I was gonna say on the
pretty
pushback,
hella.
yeah.
So I think this is a great keep out tool. Like, you want to be in range for your forward too, and you don't want to be close to the opponent. You want to be in range for Soul Steal, all that kind of juicy stuff. He can use this, kind of get out of dodge, and on hit, get pretty good damage. It's
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
definitely like a why not move, in my opinion. I think like Wound Cowboy will find a way to downplay this, but sane people will recognize it as an awesome zoning tool.
When I play new characters, I always like to look for what kind of tools I can use with Last Breath. And
That's a good
this
one.
this seems
Yeah.
like a really good place to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just gonna chip them out, right?
Yep. Do you getting how many hits is that just in block?
It's 3.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah, amplify
perfect.
3.
Yeah.
It'll kill them.
So let's go into the loadouts.
What do we have, Stephanie?
For this one, I gave him Shake. He actually transforms into smoke, and it behaves just like MK9. You can hold it, and if they do a projectile,
You get hit by it and freeze.
Man, I don't know if
Drop
you
down.
remember playing Trevor's Smoke,
I do.
but I got hit with that all day long by Trevor.
I played Waffles the most, and while he was a good player, he'd always forget about Shake.
Oh, I can't forget about Shake.
If you amplify it, you can actually absorb normal attacks, and this has a crushing blow. So the way it works is, it's if you do it twice in a row. So, well, I should probably actually get close. So to me, the perfect scenario here is you absorb a move, they're knocked down, you do a second one, if you read Wake Up, and they get got. And that's juicy, juicy
Don't
damage.
get got.
And that's what with this game too. As I've been playing more and more, like characters with sort of parry-like mechanics do very well when it comes to baiting out different wake-ups and stuff.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
especially like learning Liu Kang. I've learned that like people who are very pushy with how they play gotta watch for that.
Right.
So the other move I gave him is Super Kick, where he transforms into Rain and does the Around the World Mortal Kombat Trilogy kick. So normally he doesn't get a combo. If he amplifies it though, they'll come back around and he gets a combo.
So in lore, are they actually going around the Earth?
Absolutely.
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 Yeah, that's the power of Rain's magic.
I thought so.
There is 80% of the Earth is water, so he has control over that.
And it makes it go faster because he's controlling the water, which
Exactly.
is pushing them. I mean,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
it's science.
It's kind of embarrassing you would ask.
You're right.
He can also cancel it. And this also has a crushing blow. So the requirement is to hit them with it right after you have canceled it.
Oh. And does it take bar to cancel it?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
So lastly, I gave him a non-ninja move. This is his Soul Warp.
Oh.
It does a little bit of damage, and it will switch places with the opponent. So an obvious setup would be they have you in the corner.
Yep, switch
and you
them out.
could switch them out, and now they're in the corner.
You don't just stay there.
Oh, no.
You want to leave the corner? Okay,
Some
good.
people might want to be in the corner. I don't want to judge.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so let's go to another loadout. A lot of people have wondered, because in the trailer he goes from old to young, can you play as the old if you want?
Good question, Stephanie.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
The answer is no.
No, he's
you
just
can't.
young.
That was
Yeah.
just for the trailer.
All right,
you go.
so I'm super into this. I prefer the MK1, like old man, Shang Tsung. So I'm glad he's back. So here I gave him, I think, a combo and zoning variation. The first thing is Triple Skulls is back.
Oh, jeez. You're really confused us there back in the beginning.
He can amplify, and they're super fast. They do really good damage. It has a crushing blow if only the last skull hits. So like if they jump and they jump into the last hit,
Right.
or if they let go a block because they guessed you were only going to do 2.
Similar to Sonya's underlings, where you
Exactly. And then the
Now, are the first 2 highs?
Yes.
So if you just stand up
If
into
you
it,
stand
too.
up into it, yeah. So the real star here, though, is his ground skulls are back.
Oh, I love the ground.
He has a regular version, you can see that range, and he has a far version. And these are awesome space control moves. When he amplifies it, he gets a combo, or you drop it.
Ooh.
And these moves are awesome. Like, you can hit confirm into it. You can use them if you think the opponent's going to like dash up and it kind of will stop their movement. I think it's a great move. You are trading off the safety of the Comet because it replaces the Comet
Right.
move. So you're kind of getting significantly better combos, but you are losing like, kind of the safe pushback, so it's kind of a give and take. But personally, this is what I use, and this is actually one of his tournament variations.
Cool.
And it was I think Rick being a Shang Tsung fan from Comic Breaker was talking about the Stairway to Heaven combos.
Yes.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
this is
Yeah, it's classic Shang. This is the variation I use. So let's go to a third.
Ooh, we have a third.
We have a third, and it's pretty cool.
Wow.
So probably the most asked question if he would have this skin.
Yeah.
And he does, and it looks really cool.
And you've titled this "It Has Begun."
I mean, it's low-hanging fruit.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, nailed
Pretty
it.
awesome.
So
What was the other one we didn't name that we wanted to?
Sold
Sold
out. I
Out.
was thinking
Yeah, that was
sold
a good
out.
one too.
So the first thing I gave him is Ermac's lift. He transforms into the Crimson Ninja, does this lift. You can amplify it to get a combo. The second thing I gave him is it replaces his slide with Reptile's slide. And this one's a low. It goes much farther. He can amplify it. And this has a crushing blow for doing it at max range.
Oh, damn.
So similar to Sub-Zero, it's really dangerous in the neutral. So if you're, complimenting him with his comments and stuff
Where's it dangerous?
in the neutral, the nooch,
There we
I
go.
don't
Oh,
use that.
jeez.
Me
I
neither.
don't like-
Me neither.
that's made me very
Okie
uncomfortable.
dokie.
I hate it more than most things. And I hate a lot of things.
And lastly, just as an example of one of his unique new kind of trap moves, he has this firewall. So he'll take out his scroll, and then this firewall appears, and he can kind of hide behind it. If the opponent touches it, they'll take damage. You can also put it behind them, and you can push them into it. And if you amplify it, they'll actually start moving towards them.
I love like the skull or whatever
Yes.
that's in it. It's
There's
so
like a
cool.
skull.
So you
rune
just
in
made it where it came towards them or away.
Yes,
Or,
you get to choose.
oh, that's cool.
So you can just kind of use it as a shield, do your skulls, do up skulls, and they're not going to be able to dash through it without taking damage. You can put it behind them and then do like a block string into it. You can have it go forward. It's kind of your choice. And he actually has a couple other moves like that that we didn't show in the trailer and we didn't show here that are pretty cool.
Because as usual, we're going to have a lot of stuff we want you to experiment with and find as
Yes.
well.
Yep.
Cool.
So I guess Fatal Blow, and
Let's do it.
we're good to go.
I would think we should. I know you had requested to play.
Yes,
as
I want
Shang.
to play some matches.
Cool.
Oh. Okay. Well, let's do it.
Let's do 2, and you can play Derek and play me.
Okay.
I can go first. You want me to?
I'll go first. That's
So that is Shang Tsung.
Awesome.